do not faint, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. Strength will rise as we wait. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Our God, you reign forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not faint, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. Sing, our God, you reign. Oh, our God, you reign forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. And you do not faint, grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. You know, God never lets go of us. He is in this room right now. He is with us in all circumstances of life, whether good or bad. We can take comfort in that He is around us all the time. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, your perfect love is casting out fear. And even when I'm caught in the middle of the storms of this life, I won't turn back. I know you are near, and I will fear no evil, for my God is with me. And if my God is with me, whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? Oh no, you never let go through the calm, through the storm. Oh no, you never let go in every high, in every low. Oh no, you never let go. Lord, you never let go of me. And I can see a light that is coming for the heart that holds on, a glorious light beyond all compare. There will be an end to these troubles, but until that day comes, we'll live to know you here on the earth. And I will fear no evil, for my God is with me. And if my God is with me, whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I can see a light. Yes, I can see a light that is coming for the heart that holds on. There will be an end to the troubles, but until that day comes, still I will praise you. Still I will praise you. Teach you guys a new song. Some of you may know this, but this is a song called Cannons. It just talks about that God makes himself so evident in the world around us if we would just take the time to look in nature and in the people around us and in all of creation. God is present. So I'm going to teach you guys this song. We're going to learn the chorus first. It goes like this. You are holy, great and mighty, the moon and the stars declare who you are. I'm so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Yeah, you are holy, great and mighty, the moon and the stars declare who you are. I'm so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. And lovely sound, I hear it in the thunder and the rain. It's ringing in the skies like cannons in the night. Oh, the music of the universe plays. You are holy, we're singing. You are holy, great and mighty, the moon and the stars so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Beautiful and free, the song of galaxies, reaching far beyond the Milky Way. So let's join in with the sound. Come on, let's sing it out as the music of the universe plays. We're singing, you are holy, you're great and mighty, the moon and the stars declare who you are. So unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. All glory, honor, power declare who you are. So unworthy, but still you love forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Yes, you are holy, you're great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. I'm so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Let's just sing that out again to God, that He is holy and He is worthy. And let's remember the truth of these lines, of these lyrics, that we are unworthy of His love, but He gives it to us anyway. He pours it out on us because He loves you so much, so much. So let's sing these words again. You are holy, great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. And I'm so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Yes, you are holy, great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. And I'm so unworthy, but still you love me forever. My heart will sing of how great you are. Amen. You guys have a seat.
What's up? Y'all awake this morning? Huh? Woo! I don't understand anything. All I hear is blah, 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 blah. How late did y'all stay up? I know somebody already asked you that. 1:30? 2:30? How many of y'all love mornings? Really? I hate y'all. How many of y'all hate mornings? You're my people. All right, I'm telling you, man, I am not a morning person at all, man. I don't get up early unless I'm going to shoot something. So, yeah, 3 people got that. Anyway, yeah, I don't really hate mornings. I just wish they were later in the day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the sun came up at noon, I'd be up at the crack of dawn every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, great, awesome. Well, hey, we're going to look at Ephesians chapter 6 this morning. Y'all have Bibles with you? You don't, do you? If you got a Bible, turn to Ephesians chapter 6. We're going to look at that. We're going to really, in the morning times, the next couple, 3 days, we're going to be looking at this verse just for the next few days, just to look at it. So if you got one of these little, whatever these things are in your Bible, put that on Ephesians 6 so you can find it again tomorrow. We're going to look at that real quick. It's a real short verse, but what I want to look at the next couple of days is the devil and how he messes with us, because he's out to get us, and he hates what God does in our life. And if we don't know what he's trying to do to us, we're not going to be prepared. And one of the most important things, one of the critical things about living a Christian life, about following Christ, is you got to know what you're up against, because the devil can't stand you. 1 Peter 5:8 says this. It says, the devil, your enemy, not your buddy, not your pal, not your friend, your enemy, he prowls around like a roaring lion looking for somebody that he may devour, okay? What that means is he's out to get you. We'll talk about that verse more tomorrow, but he is out to get you. He can't stand what God is doing in your life. He can't stand the things that God has planned for you this week. And for you to live the godly life God has called you to, you got to be prepared. You got to know what you're up against, okay? So look at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Look at this verse. It's a real simple, straightforward verse. It says this. It says, put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes, okay? The word schemes literally means to handle craftily or deceptively, okay? What that means is when the devil messes with you, he's not going to be obvious about it, okay? He's going to be sneaky, he's going to be crafty, he's going to try to fool you, he's going to try to trick you, okay? All right? And for you to understand how he tricks you, how he messes with you, you got to know how he works and what he does. And what I want to do for the next few minutes, really the next couple of days, is I want to watch some game film on the enemy, all right? Any of you guys play football? Any of you guys at all? Football players? Awesome. Yeah, I ran track, so it didn't really apply, but my son is a football player, right? You're a runner? Yeah, I love to run. Yeah, I can run forever. I have no speed, but I can go forever. Anyway, my son is a ridiculous athlete. I have no idea where he got it. He didn't get it from me. But he's actually going to college to play football. He's a quarterback, and they have this cool new thing for football for these guys. It's called Huddle, and it's all online. Like all the game film, you can watch it online. So every week he would go online, and we could watch it together, and we could watch the teams they were going to play. We could watch all the films from his games the week before. It was really, really an awesome thing. And the reason he would watch game film was because he wanted to know what his opponents were going to do. He wanted to take a look, see if he could figure out something. Maybe if the defensive lineman lined up this way and Ag did a certain thing this way, he'd know they were coming from that way. Or if the secondary did something, he'd know what to expect. And we'd watch that game film and study it so we would know what the enemy was going to do, what his opponent was going to do, so he'd be better prepared to play against those guys and do well. It was really awesome to get to have that experience with him watching that game film every week. Well, what I want to do this morning is watch a little bit of game film on the devil and take a look at some of his tendencies, take a look at some of the things that he does and the way that he works so that we can know what we're up against, so we're better prepared to stand our ground against his schemes and his tricks, okay? And the first thing you got to realize about the enemy and the way that he messes with you is that when he messes with you, he's not obvious about it. He works his schemes. He does it in a crafty, sneaky, step-by-step process, okay? All right? I used to be a youth minister for a long time before I started traveling and speaking. And I had this theory that youth groups or whatever kind of reflect the personality of their youth minister. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a really cool youth minister, you're probably going to have a bunch of really cool kids in your group, all right? If you got a really nerdy kind of youth minister, you're going to have a bunch of nerds in your group. That's just kind of the personality of your youth minister tends to attract the kind of people that are in the group, okay? So imagine for a second the kind of people I had in my youth group when I was a youth minister, okay? They were the biggest bunch of idiots you've ever met in your entire life. I mean, they were crazy, y'all. I mean, they would go on stuff, they'd be pulling pranks. It was just crazy. They were awesome. I mean, we were known. I lived in a town called Levelland, okay? Level land, okay, like flat dirt. That's where I live, okay? Level land. And we were known around in youth ministry circles as the crazy clan from Levelland because we were nuts, all right? I always attracted the weird kids, all right? And this one kid especially, his name was Aaron Baggett, okay? And when Baggett was in 7th grade, I call him Baggett. Baggett, when he was in 7th grade, he was the most goofy, immature, little nerdy 7th grader you've ever met in your entire life. He was more like a 4th grader trapped in a 7th grader's body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was just goofy and weird and immature. Well, about halfway through 7th grade, he decided that no longer was he going to be known as Aaron Baggett, but he decided from now on, he was going to be Runks Jr., okay? All right? Yeah, Runks Jr. And then he was all about it too. I mean, he would like write it on his papers at school. He put it on a piece of tape, stuck it on his locker. I mean, he would write it in the back of his shirt. He was Runks Jr. If you called him Aaron, hey, what's up, Aaron? Hey, what's Baggett? What's up? He'd be like, no. I'm Runks Jr., okay? And he was all about it, okay? And it was kind of cool, I guess, you know, in a really creepy, strange kind of stalker-like way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, weird, all right? And whatever I did, that's what he did. All right, however I dressed, however I acted, whatever I said, anything I did, that's what Runks Jr. did. All right, and it was kind of cool, and but kind of weird, like I said. But if you know me at all, my personality, I'm going to mess with a guy like that. Okay, all right, and it was so much fun to mess with him because I could get Baggett to do anything I wanted him to do. Anything. All right. All I had to do was say, dude, you're Runks Jr., man. That's what I would do. Bam. He would go do it. And it was awesome, all right? Some really goofy, stupid stuff I got him to do. Like this one morning, we were at youth camp, all right? It was the last morning of youth camp. And me and 4 high school guys and Runks Jr. were sitting at a table at breakfast, eating breakfast, right? And all these high school guys were talking about the girls they had met at youth camp. Or this is a big camp, like 1,000 people and a whole bunch of different churches like this one. And these guys were talking about the girls they'd met and whose email they got or whatever, and whatever Facebook, all that stuff. You know, I mean, these girls they'd met, right? And Baggett is watching these guys, idolizing these guys. I'm thinking, you know, Baggett literally would probably sell his soul to the devil to get a girl to even talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And I pop off the Baggett and I'm like, dude, Runks Jr. So, man, did you meet any girls this week, man? Did you Facebooks, whatever, emails, whatever, man? Whatever. And he's like, yeah, man, I really like to. That ain't never going to happen, all right? Okay? So, I pop off. I'm like, Baggett, listen, Runks Jr., man, live up to the legend, okay? All right, that's a joke, all right? Okay? I'm like, live up to the legend, man. You're Runks Jr., I'm telling you what. Listen, dude, okay, look. I got ADD off the chart, okay? All right? A lot of times the stuff that comes out of my mouth did not spend very much time inside of my brain, okay? It's like, sometimes it comes out and I'm like, oh, let me have that back, okay? You know what I'm saying? This is one of those moments. My dad used to always say when I was a kid, boy, you got diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain, okay? Yeah, it's just like, blah, 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 come back. All right. This is one of those moments where something came out that I'm like, oh, come back. So I pop off the Baggett and I say this. I'm like, dude, you're Runks Jr. I'll tell you what, man. If you can get a girl to kiss you on the lips before we go home from camp, I'll give you $5, all right? He's like, really, man? You give me $5? Are you serious? I think he's more excited about $5 than he was the prospect of actually kissing a girl, okay? All right? He's like, okay. So here's what he does. We're sitting in the part of the cafeteria where everybody goes to dump their trays, right? Well, here comes about 5 or 6 high school girls, all right? He just runs up. He's like, hey, one of you girls give me a little sugar, and he's going to give me $5 if one of y'all just give me a little kiss. They're like, you little creepy spaz, get out of here, man. Go away, right? Well, he does this like 4 or 5 more times, man, and it's not working, right? So I pull him aside, and I'm like, Runks Jr., come here, listen. Okay, dude, look. You might try being a little bit more subtle, okay? All right? Don't be so ding-dang obvious about it, all right? He's like, okay, I got it. This is what he does. Let me get this chair. Oh, no, it's right. He goes, I need that coffee on an IV pole. He goes, he sits his chair around when people come by, got his back to the table right there, right? He sits down. I'm not lying. He crosses his legs like this, okay? This guy's 12 years old, okay? He's in 7th grade. I don't know if he thought it was cute or suave or sexy or I don't know what he thought, all right? He just did it. And he's sitting here, man. About this time, here comes this girl. Her name was Stacy, okay? Stacy was a girl that everybody at the camp knew, all right? Stacy was the girl that every guy wanted to know and every girl wanted to punch. You know what I'm saying? All right? I mean, this girl was by far the most beautiful girl at the whole camp, all right? And here comes Stacy. And I'm like, dude, just let this girl walk on by, okay? She's so far out of your league, dude. She's so far out of every guy at the camp's league, okay? Don't even think. He's too dumb to be nervous, okay? He has no idea. He's like, $5, man, $5, okay? All right? So he looks up, and Stacy comes walking. I'm not lying. He looks at Stacy, and he goes like this. Hey, Stacy, what's up, girl? And then he goes like this. He goes, oh, my gosh. He goes, how about you come over here and sit down next to Papa? Oh, my God. And I don't know if she felt sorry for him or thought he was cute or silly or what. I don't know. She's like, okay. And she came over and sat down beside him, okay? All right. I don't know what, man. I really don't know if she felt sorry. I don't know what. Anyway. So here's Baggett sitting here, legs crossed, talking to Stacy, trying to smooth talk. I mean, as smooth as a guy like Baggett can smooth talk a girl like Stacy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, he doesn't know he's supposed to be nervous. Or I think they were talking about Pokemon. You know what I mean? He's just like, what kind of cards do you have? they're taught anyway. So then he does this. I'm not kidding. He's so dumb. He just goes, and she's like, now listen, Stacy was a beautiful girl, okay? All right? But y'all, she was as dumb as a sack of hammers, okay? All right? I'm telling you, I don't know for sure, but there's a high probability that she was a cheerleader. I don't know that for a fact, but there's a good chance of that, okay? It's okay. They don't know I'm messing with them. It's all right, okay? Anyway, he's sitting here, legs crossed, arm around Stacy, right? And he just straight up asks. He just looks at her and he goes, hey, Stacy, how about you give me a little sugar on the lips? Okay. And she kisses him right on the lips, man. Give it up for Baggett, dude. Oh, my gosh. It was crazy, y'all. I mean, it was nuts. The whole cafeteria was freaking out. And then all of a sudden it dawns on me that now I have to go home and explain to Baggett's parents why me, his youth minister, paid him $5 to kiss a girl at church camp. Guess why I'm not a youth minister anymore, okay? All right? Yeah, it was nuts, y'all. With his first approach, in a million years, he would have never got a girl to even sit down beside him. But by being subtle, by being sneaky, he got Stacy to come and sit down beside him, and he worked from there. And y'all, that's exactly how the devil messes with us. He's never going to come at us with an obvious head-on attack. He's going to twist it and be sneaky and crafty where we're not sure if it's good or bad or right or wrong. And we give in, and he works from there. It's like a clock that's 5 minutes wrong, okay? Like an old school tick, 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 tick kind of clock like that, you know what I'm talking about? 5 minutes off. Let's say, 5 minutes off. If a clock's 5 minutes wrong, it's so close to the right time that I'll probably believe it. If I look at my watch or my phone and it's 5 minutes off, I'm probably not ever going to know that it's 5 minutes off because it's so close to the truth, right? But if it's 5 hours off, I'm going to know, all right? I'm going to know it is not 5. That's not what time it is. It's not 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still morning, all right? I'm going to know that, okay? It's going to be obvious. That's how the devil messes with you, students. He twists things just 5 minutes, just a little bit off, and he wraps it up in a pretty package and a nice pretty bow on top and makes it enticing and it looks like a fun time. It looks like it's something that's probably really great for you to do. And you look at it and you think, I don't know, man. I mean, it looks fun and it looks like a good deal. And I don't know. It's just, yeah, it looks like a good time. Why not? And you give in. Well, guess what happens when you give in? He twists it 5 more minutes. And he wraps it up in a pretty package and a nice little bow, and he makes it look fun. And it's something you're tempted with. And you look at it and you think, I don't know if that's good or bad or right or wrong, but it's so close to where I am, it doesn't look like that big a deal. It looks okay. I mean, maybe from here to here, 10 minutes off, you might be able to spot the difference, but 5 minutes off, you're like, I don't know. And you give in. Well, guess what happens when you give in, students? 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Very rarely will he take you from there to there in one jump. But he'll take you there 5 minutes at a time. As soon as he twists things, just enough till you're unsure. Till you're not really sure if this is good or bad or right or wrong. And then you give in, well, then he twists it a little bit more. And you give in. And he twists it a little bit more. And you give in. Over and over and over and over until one day you wake up and like, how did my life get so messed up? How did I get so deeply involved in all the junk that I'm involved in? How did I fall so far away from where I was at camp last summer? He's not going to take you there in a big jump. He's going to take you there 5 minutes at a time. That's how the enemy works. He's never, ever, never going to come to you and say, I got a great idea. How about you become a total alcoholic? That'd be awesome, man. Spend your life going to Alcoholics Anonymous. Spend your life with no money, no job, and no family. That'll be awesome. How about that? Want to? No. You know what he's going to say? Dude, Jesus drank wine, man. Chill. It's all right. Go have a beer. It doesn't matter. He's never going to come at you and say, I got a great idea. How about you become a total drug addict, all right? That'd be awesome, man. Shoot up with needles so bad your veins don't work anymore and you got to shoot between your toes and you live on the streets homeless. That'll be awesome. Want to do that? Ha ha. No. You know what he's going to say? Dude, it's just weed. It ought to be legal anyway, man. Everybody else is smoking weed. Go ahead. Girls, he's got a package deal for you. He's never going to come to you and say, I got a great idea. How about you marry a loser, all right? A total jerk who's going to punch you in the face and never love your kids and never spend any time with you, never care about you at all. That'll be awesome. Want to do that? No. You know what he's going to say? Oh, man. If you went out with that guy, whew, God, you could fix him. You could change that guy. Let me tell you something, girls, guys for that matter. Somebody needs to be fixed or changed. That's not a person God intends for you to be with. If a person, this is extra and free. If a person, guys, if a girl, does it make you want to love Jesus more? That's not a girl you need to date. Girls, if a guy doesn't lead you to love Jesus more and make you want to love him more, that's not a guy you need to date. I say it all the time about my daughter. Somebody asked me one time what would I do if my daughter came home with a black guy? I was like, I don't care if she comes home with a guy from Mars, all right? As long as he loves Jesus and treats her like a queen, I don't care what he looks like. That's what you deserve, every one of you girls, is to be loved the way Jesus loves the church and treated like a queen. If a guy doesn't do that, he's a loser. Run for your life. Yeah, any parents with me? All right, good, awesome. I'm telling y'all, he's not going to be obvious. He's not going to be obvious. I was at a camp last summer, and I shared this on the last morning of camp. I got a Facebook message from this girl when I got home that day. I was a high school girl, and the camp they were at, they couldn't have their cell phones. And when they got back to the church, the youth minister was passing their cell phones out, right? When she turned on her cell phone, she had a message, I don't know all the details, but this was a guy she used to be in a relationship with. Apparently he was a jerk, and she'd gotten out of that relationship, all right, which was a good thing. Well, this guy texted her while she was at camp. When she turned on her cell phone, she saw the message from him, and all the message said was, "Where you at?" That's it. Well, she replied to it. Just got home from church camp. Well, he texts her back, and then she texts him back. He texts her, and I don't know all the details, but anyway, he convinced her to go over to his house. So she went over to his house, and again, I don't know all the details, but they got in this huge, big fight. She left mad at him, just mad at the world. Goes home, walks in the back door. Her mom was like, "How was camp?" And she was like, "I don't even want to talk about camp." Goes up to her room, just sits in the room. She's just furious, right? She said it clicked in my head. She was like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what Runk said was going to happen." He said, "I couldn't wait to get home and tell my mom what God had done in my life at camp." She had an awesome experience at camp. So she stopped, got her head about her, and kind of spent her time in prayer. Went downstairs and apologized to her mom and began to tell her mom what God had done in her life at camp. All that from where you at. You know what her 5-minute lie was? Where you at? Now, who would think that was a temptation? Who would think that was something the devil would use to get you messed up? Where you at? He was crafty. He was sneaky. If he'd had the guy text her, "Hey, come over here. I want to be a real jerk to you today," would she have gone over there? No. Where you at? You see what I'm talking about? That's a 5-minute lie. So close to no big deal. But really, it's a huge big deal. He's not stupid, all right? The devil is a pretty smart dude. He's going to be crafty and he's going to be sneaky. All of that from where you at. That was somewhere that she was weak and the devil knew it, all right? That's where he's going to hit you. That's where he's going to attack, okay? You know where your weaknesses are. You know what you struggle with. You know where your weaknesses are, okay? I could sit up here and I could name every weakness I could think of, every weakness that I have, and I probably wouldn't name your weakness because we're all different and we all have different struggles. You know where you're weak. You know what your struggles are. Well, guess what? So does the devil. He knows where you're weak. That's where he's going to attack. He knew that was a weakness. He knew that she was out of the relationship and she was glad the relationship was over, but she was still vulnerable. Where you at? That's it. You got to be prepared, students. You got to be alert and aware and on the lookout to spot the lies. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you how to spot the lies. But for today, I want you to think about that. Think about the schemes and tricks. Think about the times in your life when you stumbled before. Think about what the 5-minute lie was that led you to that decision. Think about where it was and how it started. Just little 5 minutes at a time where he started messing with you and how he got you to here. Because if you can look back, what you're doing is you're watching game film. You're watching game film to see how he's messed with you before, how you responded to it, and what maybe you could do different in the future to not get fooled. Let's pray. God, thank you so much for this morning. I thank you so much for your word and how it speaks to us. I pray for these students as they go to their small groups now, that you would just guide them, that you would just direct their leaders. I pray, God, is that they would look over their lives and look at the struggles they've had and the stumbles that they've made. I pray, God, that you would help them to see the 5-minute lies and be prepared to spot those 5-minute lies in the future. In Jesus' name, that's my prayer. Y'all are dismissed to your small groups. Okay.
That's all good. Hey, let's stand up though real quick. Let's just do one song before we go to our small groups. Light of the world, you step down into darkness. You open my eyes and let me see beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. King of all days, oh so highly exalted, glorious in heaven above. Humbly you came to the earth you created, all for love's sake became poor. So here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. I'll never know. I'll never know how much it cost to see my sins upon that cross. I'll never know how much it cost to see my sin upon that cross. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. You guys have a good time with your small groups.